G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Already Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Boat by Ed Sheeran. Now in this lesson, I'm going to teach you two different ways of playing this song. The first method is the easiest way of playing this song, but it does require a capo on the 4th fret of your guitar. And by doing this, you'll avoid detuning your guitar. Now the second method I'm going to teach you requires no capo, and this is how Ed Sheeran plays it live. However, if you want to play along with the original recording, then you will need to detune your guitar down a half step. But for the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to keep my guitar in standard tuning, so it will be in the key that Ed Sheeran plays this live. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsalreadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in your guitar in general, then check out Guitars Already Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. All right, let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to start by teaching you the easiest version, and this requires a capo on the 4th fret of your guitar. So let's start with the verse, and it's really nice and simple. There's just one line of chords here. So we're going to start with an E minor 7, so index and middle finger on the 2nd frets of the 5th and 4th string, and ring and pinky on the 3rd frets of the 2nd and 1st strings. That's our E minor 7. Now this song is in 6/8 timing, so it's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feel to it. So let's take a look at a strumming pattern that we could use for basically the majority of this song. So it's going to go something like this: down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So it's basically down, down, up, repeated through twice, and that will cover a full bar of music. Now that's just a suggested strumming pattern. Of course, you can add your own feel to it. You don't always need to hit that strumming pattern exactly. You can mix it up a little bit, take one of the strums out. So it could be down, down, up, down, down, up, instead of down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. But it's completely up to you, and I'll just go with that basic one for the rest of the song. There is one minor exception to this, but I'll get to that later. So we're going to play that full strumming pattern for the E minor: down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then we go to a D chord. Now this is where we're going to mix up our strumming pattern a little bit. So we have a D chord, and then we're going to go to a G/B. So it's the same as a G chord, but our root note is this 2nd fret of the 5th string here. So G/B shape, and we just want to keep that 6th string muted. Now the point at which we change to the D to the G/B is on this highlighted up strum. So we start off with the down, down, up, but then we go down, down, up, and that's where we change to the G/B. So down, down, up, and then we move on to our next chord. So this bar, up. Then we go to a C add 9 chord, so it's the same as a G chord, but we're just moving our index and middle finger down one string. Now we're going to strum this chord for 2 of our regular strumming patterns. So down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And that's it for the verse, which sounds like this when we put all the chords together. Now I'm strumming this song with my fingers. That's the way you would generally see Ed Sheeran play live. He doesn't usually use a pick. You can use a pick for this if you want, but if you prefer not to use a pick, one little tip is to just use the side of your index fingernail as the contact point. And that way you'll get a bit more of a crisp sort of sound as that nail glides across the strings. You can also use the side of your thumb as well, but that results in a bit more of a softer sort of tone. The next part to learn is the pre-chorus, and there's 2 lines of chords here. So we're going to start with the C add 9. We're going to play that for 1 full strumming pattern. And then we go to a G and a D. And those 2 chords are shared within the 1 bar. So just down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then for the second line of chords, we start with the C add 9 for 1 full bar. Then we go to our E minor 7 and D instead of a G and a D. And finally, after that, for the final bar, we hit the C add 9 once and just hold it out for that final bar. That's it for the pre-chorus, which will sound like this. Next, we move on to the chorus chords. So there's just one line of chords here for the chorus. We're going to start with the G chord, and then we're going to go to a G/A. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to lift our index finger and we're going to lift our middle finger. But what you want to do with your middle finger is lightly touch the 6th string so that when you strike these strings, the heaviest string that will ring out is that 5th string. That 6th string will be muted by your free middle finger here. It's really important that that open 5th string is that root note that we hear, because there's an ascending bass line here that goes that 3rd fret, the open 5th string, and the change occurs on the 4 beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for the second bar, we go to a G/B. So it's the same as our G chord, except we're just emphasizing the 2nd fret of the 5th string as our bass note. And then we go to a D/F sharp. So keep your ring finger where it is, index and middle finger go on the 2nd frets of the 6th and 3rd strings. And we emphasize this 2nd fret of the 6th string. So the first 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we really just want to focus on those root notes, and we're not really adding a strumming pattern here. We'll do that later in the second chorus, but for now, we're just strumming each chord and holding out for 3 beats. After those 2 bars, we then go to a C add 9, and that's where we pick it back up with that regular strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So the chorus simply sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are the chorus chords. Now in the second chorus, we play that through 4 times, and the 3rd and the 4th time, that's where we can start strumming these first 2 bars a bit. So that would sound like this. Again, you really do want to emphasize those root notes though, because they'll actually highlight the vocal melody as well. The only other part to learn is the outro, which is basically the same as the chorus, except when we go to our C add 9, that's the end of the song. So those are all the guitar parts for the CAPO version on 4th fret. So now I'll teach you a version that doesn't require a CAPO, and this is how Ed Sheeran plays it live. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this lesson, I will warn you though, if you play it like this in standard tuning and you try to play it along with the original recording, they will be different keys. So Ed Sheeran plays it live in standard tuning. However, when recorded, he's detuned his guitar down a half step. So if you want to play along with the original recording with these chord shapes, then you will need to detune all your strings down a half step. So E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat. For the purpose of this lesson though, I'm going to keep my guitar in standard tuning. So we're basically following what Ed Sheeran does live. So starting with the verse, we have an A minor 7 chord shape. So it's the same as an A minor, but we can lift our ring finger. So we strum from the 5th string onwards. And on top of this, we also take our pinky finger and we're going to put that on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So that's our A minor 7. Now our strumming pattern here will be similar to our CAPO version. So we're just going to be playing a down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, which covers a full bar of music. So the A minor 7. Now our second chord is a G at 11. So we're going to keep our index and pinky finger where they are, lift our middle finger and just put our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Now you can put your middle finger down on that 2nd fret of the 5th string, or you can just mute the 5th string if you want. So that's our G at 11. Then we're going to go to a C/E. So our C/E is basically the same as our A minor 7 chord shape, except we're just going to strum from the 4th string onwards. So that's our C/E. Now the point at which we change from the G at 11 to the C/E is on this highlighted up strum. So we have that G at 11 for the down, down, up, down, up, and then down, down, change, and then one more up strum. And then we get to an F sus2. So the F sus2 has the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and we're just strumming from the 4th string onwards. And you can mute the 5th string with your free ring finger here. And with the F sus2, we're just going to return back to our regular strumming pattern. So down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So the whole time you will keep your ring and pinky finger on that first and third fret. Now that pinky is optional though. It's giving you grief, then you don't necessarily need to have it. You can play all those chord shapes without your pinky finger, but that's just what Ed Sheeran does. And you can hear it in the recording as well, that G note. So altogether, the verse sounds like this. Next is the pre-chorus, and there's 2 lines of chords here. So we're going to start with an F add 9. It's basically the same as our F sus2, but on our first down strum, we're going to actually hammer our middle finger onto the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So that's our F add 9. We're going to play that for a full strumming pattern. So, and then we go to a C chord. So just move our ring and middle finger up 1 fret. And then we go to a G add 11. Now those 2 chords are shared within one strumming pattern, so it'll sound like this. So the first line of chords. That line of chords is played through 3 times, and then for our second line of chords we have our F add 9. Instead of C though, we're going to play an A minor 7 chord, and then go to our G add 11, and finally end with one F add 9. But we're not going to play that for a strumming pattern. We're just going to strum it and hold it out. So the pre-chorus in total. Next we get to the chorus, and this is 1 line of chords here. So we're going to start with our C, and then we're going to play a C/D. So we're going to basically just lift our ring and middle finger, and the open 4th string note is going to be our root note here. So you want to keep that 5th string muted. So really emphasize that 4th string if you can. And then our next chord is C/E. So we're going to put that middle finger down onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and that's now our new root note. And then finally a G add 11/B. So we're just going to move that middle finger up to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and that's our root note. Now one thing to note is that in the recording, what I'm hearing is that 2nd fret of the 5th string, but when I watch Ed Sheeran play it live, he's actually hitting the G root note instead of the B root note. So you can choose to do whichever you want. I'm going to follow the B root note here for this lesson, but those 4 chords. And we just hold each chord out for 3 beats. We're not gonna play any sort of strumming pattern until later in the 2nd chorus. After those chords, we then go to our F sus2, and we're going to strum this with our regular strumming pattern. So the softer choruses will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But later on in the 2nd chorus, we can actually utilize our strumming pattern for these chords, and we're going to change the chords on the 4 beat for the first 2 bars. So and that's it for the chorus. The only other section to learn is the outro, which is the same as the chorus, except we just end on one F sus2. We don't continue playing that. And those are all the parts for this no capo version. Now again, if you want to play along with these chord shapes to the original recording, then you will need to detune your guitar a half step. Otherwise, you can keep it in standard tuning, because that's what Ed Sheeran does when he plays it live. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of the song. The first playthrough will be the capo version, so the easiest version of playing this song to the studio recording. And the second playthrough will be the no capo version, but I will keep my guitar in standard tuning. So this is how Ed Sheeran plays it live in the recordings that I've seen. However, if you want to play those no capo chords along with the original recording, then you will need to detune your guitar down a half step for this particular method. A big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals to these playthroughs. Feel free to play these back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Times that I jumped never were real. They say that all scars will heal, but I know maybe I won't, and the waves won't break my boat. Came in for the embers, stayed out for the breeze. Need to feel elements to remind me Times that I jumped never were real. Say that all scars will heal, but I know maybe I won't, and the waves won't break my boat.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.